Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody, wherever you are in the world. Welcome once again to another session of Living World of Darkness. This is a crossover scene for the Mage and Vampire venue. We open up in a sketchy, pay-by-the-hour motel in New York City, where after receiving a series of texts from a number his phone could not even comprehend, Reggie has set up a sort of rendezvous point. The text messages read, "Hey, we met at that party. You immediately forgot my number. You want to hang out?"
After getting that text, which I think would be a major pain in the ass to read on that phone, Reggie just texts back an address, which is the address of this sketchy motel, and under the address it says, "Be here." I don't know. Let's say 1 a.m. Room number 7.
He'll get a text back that just says K.
Youngsters
And
these days.
before too long, he will hear a knock at the door of that very hotel room.
Reginald gets up, goes to the door, and after taking a look from the peak, he's gonna open it up.
Escher will slip inside and close the door behind her. She'll give the place sort of a once-over. She doesn't seem terribly disgusted by its status of a shitty hotel. You can bet she's probably hung out in worse places. And she'll just turn around. Hey?
Yeah, like when she looked at a TV in this motel room, like there is almost nothing electronic, aside maybe from my line phone, and that's it. And the lights, of course.
Little low tech for my place, but not too bad. How are you?
I've been doing well, young miss. How are you?
Doing just fine. Wanted to kind of check in after all the stuff that happened the other day.
Wise. And he motions to the table that is on the right in the middle of the room.
Escher will walk over and she'll take a seat with the back of the chair in front of her. She rests her arms on it.
I'm sorry, I completely missed that.
She takes a seat with like the back of the chair in front of her between her legs with her arms resting on it.
When she sits down, there's a bottle of wine, very like cheap wine, and a glass. Reginald sits down, fills up the glass, and just slides it in front of her.
She just kind of laughs a bit. Thanks. She doesn't really go for it to drink it though.
Neither does Reggie.
Boy, this is awkward already.
A formality that I've had.
Sorry, you cut out. What was that?
He said, an old formality. Maybe just a habit. Pointing to the wine bottle. I don't really tend to drink.
You don't tend to drink, huh? Probably a good thing to kick.
Slow the reflexes down. Makes you woozy. I don't like that.
Can't say I'm a fan either.
Oh, water next time then.
So, you and your friend, how are you holding up after that little performance?
I'm holding up okay. If you would like to peony that, go right ahead.
Yeah, sure. I haven't rolled my peony dice in a while. One, two, three, four successes.
Ooh, nice. He mostly means it, but there might be a little hint of anger. Just a teeny tiny little bit. Right.
You, don't sound particularly fine, if I can point that out.
Perceptive.
She'll wink at him.
Well, I don't think anybody could be fine after seeing that. Am I wrong?
She shrugs. I'm surprised something like that was allowed to go on out in the open.
And what do you think it was?
What do I think it was?
He nods.
She'll, put on her best intense face. Do you believe in the occult? Could be demons.
I had a little dabbling in it back in my day.
Yeah.
But in any book I've read, I've never seen a demon turning into an ash. Maybe I haven't read enough.
She shrugs. Who knows what it could be then? Zombies? She
If
has
the
like a very like shit-eating smirk on her face.
and Reginald is going to notice that and say, "Well, if we are to believe these days, they would have been on the more deceased side, if that was the case."
That's a good point. Could be witches.
Who knows? But I'm guessing that the reason for our meeting isn't just to speculate over the happenings of the said party. Or am I getting the wrong idea?
You can say I'm curious. You and your friend seemed to react pretty quickly to what you saw.
I'm surprised anybody else hasn't.
Really?
You
No,
haven't seen what happened, right?
I did. It looked like most people brushed it off as special effects work.
Well, I can't say that I'm a movie buff. Neither I'm a regular theater visitor. But in my limited experience, I've never seen a special effect of that level. If it truly is, I have to say I'm impressed.
And if it's not,
There's some truly disturbing happening going on, and we have made the right decision by leaving early.
Asher will just nod.
In any case, we played a safe route. I guess it doesn't hurt.
Oh, what's a little speculation between two people in a shitty motel room?
A lot worse have been done with a lot less. Let me tell you that much.
Really? Sounds like you have a story.
I couldn't get anything else after, really. I'm sorry. My
Oh,
internet is really bad today. I apologize.
she said, sounds like you have a story.
I have many stories.
I have nothing but time.
Right then, one little story won't hurt, I guess. Well, okay, let's see. The player cannot think of a suitable story to tell at this point. I'm really sorry. So,
It's alright.
Reginald is just going to tell a story about a particular heist that have been made in Spain about 15 years ago. That has been planned in again, a very shitty motel room. And he does his best to keep every single supernatural part out of it.
Asher will just kind of nod as she listens along. Fair. I have some protester friends who can brag they've met in dumpsters to plan their activities.
As long as you don't get caught or get bothered, be bothered by, I guess it works.
No one's gonna kick over a dumpster to look for you.
Unless they know where to look.
A lot of those in New York City. A lot of these in New York City. She kind of waves her hand around. But these have security cameras. And security cameras aren't our friends.
I guess so. Am I to make out that I have met a kindred spirit from all that?
She shrugs. I've gone to a protest or two in my time.
It's time for Reggie to roll perception. do? Okay, let's see. Nah, just one success.
Yeah, she doesn't really seem to be speaking in double talk. She's just chatting.
Good to know. But if I'm to give you a useful advice, let's say, do you remember that flag you showed me on your phone?
It's difficult to forget such an interesting design.
Say about that is if you see that flying over somewhere or in someone's hand, turn around and get away from it as fast as you can.
I appreciate the advice, but who is it that carries those flags? Surely they're organized if they have a symbol.
Like I said, it's all I can say about it. But, like I said, it does not worth the interest and curiosity to see what you get if you were to follow one.
Have you followed one?
Can't say I have.
And how do you know?
I have friends that knows things.
Ah, then we do have something in common. We have a lot in common, in fact.
And what might those be?
You have friends that know things. I have friends that know things. Two heads are better than one.
I would agree with that. Though I'm willing to bet we have differences also.
I wouldn't doubt it. One more thing.
What is that cross and flower for?
What were you and your friend up to after we left? You gave my associate quite the spook.
Sadly, I tend to have that effect on people. Normally. I apologize.
I'm not talking about that.
And what exactly are you talking about?
Right before we left, you tried to do something. I want to know what that something was.
Like I said, very perceptive. And I would like to counter that by asking you how have you removed your number from my phone after you left?
I am just one hell of a computer nerd, I guess.
Well, I also had a computer. I also had some. Never seen them be able to pull something like that. I'm impressed.
She shrugs a bit. It's all ones and zeros, electrical currents. You can fuck with one phone, you can fuck with any phone. You can fuck with one camera, you can fuck with any camera. Hence why they're not our friends.
That's something, admittedly, I don't know very much about, but I'll take your word for it.
She winks. It's best to be paranoid.
You have no idea. So, anything else I could help you with?
Don't know how much you're willing to share at this point. I don't want to get too greedy.
You can ask your decision, you can ask your questions, and I can decide which one to answer and which one not to. Sounds fair?
I suppose it does.
Then I'm all ears.
Let's see. You're not comfortable discussing your strangeness or the identity of the flag bearers. Why do you say we should avoid them?
Good question. Let's just say that from what I've been told by my friends that knows things, were to follow that, you will get hurt.
What are they capable of?
I believe you have seen what they're capable of in our little party.
That's all?
A small preview, let's say.
Fair enough.
Now I have a question for you.
Sure, shoot.
What have you noticed about the city, about its streets and its people in the last, let's say, 5 months?
I only arrived a few months ago. To me, all of this may as well just be what New York is like.
Fair enough. I just wanted to see how far your perception reached. That's all.
You'd be surprised.
If you are indeed capable of it, I would like to see that.
Okay. I'm unsure how to demonstrate.
I don't say right now.
Fair enough. Give me a topic to research and I'll get back to you.
Make your pick. I'm not really particularly picky on the topic. I'm much more interested in your abilities.
So just anything interesting at all? The mating cycles of the ducks in Central Park, perhaps?
Come again? I'm sorry.
So just
I just got the answer.
the mating cycles of the ducks in Central Park, perhaps?
Could be a worthwhile reading.
Fair enough.
Like I said, I'm not particularly picky about the topic. I'm much more interested in your abilities.
All right, then. Then I suppose I'll have something interesting to tell you about next time.
I'm looking forward to it.
Then I won't take much more of your time. I'm sure you're very, very busy.
Depends on how you define busy.
And she'll stand up and push the chair in. And she'll hold her hand out.
Reginald looks a bit surprised. A teeny tiny bit surprised. But he gets up and shakes her hand.
See you around, Reginald. Nice meeting. And
By the way,
hmm?
that hand is cold.
Ooh, she will definitely notice that. She gives him kind of an eyebrow raise.
He just smiles to her.
Might
Very, very small smile.
want to invest in a pair of gloves. And she'll shake his hand and give it a pat with her other hand.
I will try to heed the And Jen forgets the goddamn word. Awesome. Let's just say Reggie just nods and says, you're
Sorry, you cut out. What was that?
he said, I will try to heed your suggestion.
She'll just nod. I'll catch you later. And she's gonna head out the door unless stopped.
Actually, you know what? Reggie is just going to stop her before she can go to the door. He'll just say, please, I have somewhere to get to anyways, and This room has been paid for the night, so make yourself comfortable.
You want me to stay here? She kind of like leans forward and gives him a quizzical look. You're not flirting with me, are you?
Reddy just looks at her a bit surprised and says, I don't believe I am.
All right. And I suppose I'll tidy up while you're gone.
Don't get too attached. We probably won't be here next time. And he just nods to her and leaves.
She'll watch him go and wait for the door to close behind him. She'll probably only hang out just checking her notifications on her phone and such for maybe 15 minutes or so before she heads into the bathroom, does a thorough sweep for cameras of any kind.
Nothing there.
Okay.
Nothing at all.
And after that, she will pull the curtain of the shower around herself and disappear.
Nice.
And I believe that is the point we can end our scene. Thank you to my fellow player for playing. Thank you to our watchers for watching. This has been another scene for Living World of Darkness, Phage Mage, Blood Mage. We'll figure out a title eventually.